Hey everybody, and welcome to Adventures with Peps. Today we are going through the ABC Quick Starter booklet. Increase the piece, up. And as you can see, we actually have a gaming table set up. What a sight. What a wonderful sight. Never thought I'd be doing some battle reports so soon after doing the quick start guide. Now, if you've not gone through those 4 videos, I recommend you do. But here we go. We're going to try and see how much of the rules I've actually remembered. So scenario 1, creating a platform. Volkhan's servants have set up his anvil, and he is spreading his creed to the robots in the city and turning them against their humans. Hammerstein has vowed not to let him take the stage. So it's a 3x3 table, which it actually is, surprisingly. Volkhan's deployment edge is going to be this top edge along the back here. The ABC warriors are going to be down the front here. I need to set up some objective markers, which we will cover in a second once I got them set up. And then the point of the game is that the ABC warriors are going to try and claim the areas northwest and southwest. So there's going to be an objective somewhere here, one in the top corner. ABC warriors need to try and take these two. Volkhan and his forces are going to try and take these two. So I'm going to set that up and then we'll go over the forces. Now, as a warning, I am filming on multiple devices. I've also got my phone. So the imagery might jump between 2 camera things, but that's okay. We're learning as we're doing this stuff. So as you can see, hopefully, if this video is working, we have objective marker 1, and then all the way back here, objective marker 2, which is going to be the ABC warriors in red. Then we have the Volkhan in blue. So Volkhan's is near these barrels at the back here. And then in this wide open space, then the ABC warriors have one near the shops and one near what will be a pond/park once I finally get around to doing it. Right, so that is objective markers now set up. The other point of reference is the anvil is also set up on the platform ready for Volkhan to preach from. Setup. Volkhan is the first up, so he touches anywhere along the northern table edge. We've obviously got to prioritize the blue objectives. That's all we know so far. So we're going to put him there to begin with, right at the top corner. He is ready to come down. Up next, the ABC warriors set up anywhere along the south edge table. Now we know we've got objective marker 1 down here, which annoyingly is just off camera. Let's see if I can fix that. So, I don't know. Kind of want a boss fight, don't we? So maybe I'll put Hammerstein. Hammerstein's going to go in an alleyway down here. The other 3 robots, because they all set up at the same time, maybe the other 3 robots that act as a group. So they have to stay within 6 inches of each other. They are going to start all along here, kind of close to Hammerstein. There we go. And then the Volkhan AK-47s are deployed touching the anvil. Okay. Well, they were pretty much in place already. That was convenient. And we have Hammerstein in the alleyway, who has a great view of the anvil. Next to him, he has his 3 Mark I Hammersteins. Got the AK-47s up on the platform. And all on his lonesome, little old Volkhan. So that is set up now complete. Tarot cards. No tarot cards are used in this scenario, so that's easy enough. Securing an objective. To secure an objective, the team must have its character, Volkhan or Hammerstein, within 3 inches of that objective. Once an objective has been secured, it is under the control of that team, even if the player moves away. It can only be contested by enemies, or it can be secured by an enemy character. The game ends when one or both sides secure or contest both its public objectives. Each objective is worth 20,000 if secured, 5,000 if it's contested. Team with the most likes wins. So let's get into it. So step 1, we get the tokens. As you can see, there is 2 blue, which will represent Volkhan's forces, 2 red for Hammerstein. Volkhan and Hammerstein each get a star chip, and they are going to go in the bag. And the bag is going to go here. It's a lovely bolt action bag. I need to get a 2000 AD one. And let's get into it. So turn 1. Let's find out who's moving first. We get just the basic blue token. So that is going to be the AK-47s or Volkhan can go. If it was a star chip, I would use it on Volkhan. Instead, I'm going to use it on his battle droids. So no freedom of action. robot groups choose one of the following. So they can advance, which is a move snapshot, or an aimed fire. Their guns they've got pretty good range, if I remember correctly. 24-inch, so they're definitely in range to just open up. So we'll place the action chip, and they are going to shoot down onto the Hammersteins down here. So we're going to declare that he is the one doing the aimed firing. See what range we're at. Whoa! So we've got 14, 14, and 14. Nice and easy. So let's do an aimed shot. Right, first shot of the game. So these 3 AK-47s are going to shoot at the Hammersteins down here. Now, to work out how many dice they're rolling, we'll go to the other camera. Our robot has a shoot of 2. It's also aimed, so +2. Then there's 2 other robots that can definitely see and shoot, so they also add their shoot stats. So he's rolling 8 dice currently, but he is firing at long range, so it's -1. So he's going to roll 7 dice. Let's see how many hits we get. We'll roll hit. Oh, that's a lot of hits. There is 5 hits in total, which is higher than their cool. So they've gained a metal fatigue straight away on one of them. Oh, that is a rough start. You would then roll an evade if they had evade, which no robot in this game today has evade. So we're going to be skipping that step, which is quite easy for me. Then we are going to work out the power. So you roll a number of combat dice equal to the weapon's power stats. So it has a power of 4. So power of 4, looking for hits. And we only scored 1. Only 1. Uh-oh. So now the Hammersteins are looking to defend. They have a defense of 4. 2 armors have been rolled. So that leaves it at -1, no effect. So that was a complete flopped first shooting round from the AK-47s. Okay, now we move on to who's coming out next. It's red. It's a star chip. We can put this on Hammerstein and do some special stuff. So Hammerstein, he gets to do either a double or 2 singles. To be honest, I'm going to go 2 single actions and we're going to start moving forward. So he has a move of 5 inches. What? So he's going to sneak around here as his first action. And he's going to take a snapshot of those AK-47s. He has a shoot of 4 straight off the bat. He then has, let's see what we're going to use. Now, I could use multiple weapons here to blast away at them and give them a little bit more of a resist against it. But let's see what is actually in range. His wrist guns, 8 and 16. So he is long range with his wrist guns. Built-in auxiliary cannon is also 8-16. So he is long range no matter what. So he's going to use his wrist guns. Oh, no, he's not, because they're -2 at long range. He's going to use his cannon attachment. So long range -1. So he's only rolling 3 dice. That's not great. So we are looking for hit. And he scored 2 hits, which most likely is higher. Well, it's equal to their cool. So they also suffer metal fatigue. We then move into his power, which for that weapon is power 4. Once again, we are looking for hits. 1 hit, 2 hits. We got 2 hits. The AK-47s do not have evade. They have a defensive freeze, so we're looking for shields here. We get 1 shield. Only the 1 shield. So that does that, leaving 1 hit left over. And on the damage chart, it means they have gained a leak, which is an injury marker. So because it's Hammerstein, and he has Star Chip, he can attempt to go for broke. So we're going to see if we can put it back in the bag. He has a cool of 4. So we're going to roll 4 dice and we're looking for a 2000 AD. And we did not get 1. Wah, wah. And so comically, he has now given himself a metal fatigue. So with that failed attempt by Hammerstein, he now has metal fatigued himself. We've got 2 tokens left in the bag. And up next it will be... Oh, it's the Hammerstein MK1s. Let's see how they can do. They are going to do the advance, which allows them to move and then snapshot. I think that makes the most sense. And see if we can ping off that first AK-47. I could attempt to get rid of the metal fatigue, but there's no real point. They are now moving forwards. They get to shoot at the AK-47s. So I doubt we're within 8 inches. Maybe we are. I'm going to say the main shooter is. So Hammerstein MK1s have shoot of 2 for him, shoot of 2 for him, shoot of 2 for him. Then we have the weapon modifiers. The weapon modifier for the one shooting, he is within 8 inches, so he gains another +2. So he's going to be firing 8 dice. Let me know if this is wrong. Seems like a lot of dice. So looking for hits. If we get more than a 1 because of the metal fatigue, we're going to stick another metal fatigue on this model. We have scored 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. That's not bad, not bad. So the AK-47 now has 2 metal fatigues on him, which is going to make him a lot easier to kill off. I'm actually going to spend one of them to increase the power of the Hammerstein's shot. So the weapon is power 4, as you can see on the card here, but I'm upping it to power 5 by using one of those metal fatigue tokens. We are once again looking for hit results. 1, 2, 3, 3 hits. Oh, that's going to be beastie. Because the AK-47 already had a leak, his resist, instead of being resist 3, would only be resist 2. So let's see. He gets no defense. So it's even worse. It's actually 3 hits. So the model now has 4 leaks on it, meaning he is downed. He's pretty much out of the game. Unless you spend a star chip on him, he's not going to come back. So that model is pretty much kaputski. That means there's only 1 chip left in the bag. It's going to be Volkhan. He's already losing some forces here. So he's going to take a double single action, or is he going to run? Double single, because there's some terrain in the way there. So he can move 5 and 5. And then for his second move, he's going to go over the pipes. So that's going to take at least an inch off his move. It's going to cost him 2 inches, but it's still enough for him to claim his first objective. We'll use the little skull to represent that he's claimed it. Now, I could go for broke, but it's -2 to his cool, so he'll be rolling 3 dice. If I do it, he could keep moving up. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. This could be silly. So, cool of 5, but because it's the last dice, it's -2, so he's going to roll 3 dice. Looking for 2000 AD, and he fails. And he's given himself a metal fatigue right now. All star chips and normal chips go back in the bag, and we'll move on to a turn 2. Give it a good shake. Turn 2 is going to begin with Volkhan himself. Now, I could get rid of a metal fatigue, which is shake it off, or I just get on with it. Just going to get on with it. He's going to sprint. So it's 10 inches plus the D6. He got a 4, so he is going 14 inches. So he is now snuck all the way behind the signpost. It's kind of a sneaky little place to be. Now, because he was the first chip out, he is going to try and go for broke. Allows him to roll 5 dice this time. That was a good roll. He got 3 2000 ADs, so his chip goes back in the bag. Because that just went back in, we'll give it a good shake. And we get, it's the Hammerstein MK1s. They're going to try and take on Volkhan, I think, and try and stop him from getting this objective down here. So they're going to use the advanced, so 5-inch move. Ooh, that one should have been 4-inch because he's injured. Move him around to there. They're going to snap shoot into Volkhan. So main guy is 6 inches away, which puts him at close range. So 2 to shoot, and then 2 for his friend and 2 for his friend. So that gives him 6 straight away. And he gets +2 modifier. Just seems like a lot of dice. So we are looking for hits. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. That's equal to Volkhan's cool stats, so he gains another metal fatigue. We're going to do the same like we did last time, where we're going to use it to up the power of the weapon to 5. Volkhan has no evade, so he's not doing any of that. Once again, we are looking for hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits. That's painful. Volkhan has a defense of 7. So let's see how many shields we get. 1. So That's quite comical. So he only saved 1. That left 3 to damage him. So he's going to gain 3 leaks. Right, next chip out of the bag. It's going to be the AK-47s who have just watched their boss get absolutely blattered. So they're going to advance and snap shoot. This one can do nothing. Let me just double check that. Yep, so it's just the 2 robots firing back. Short range of 8. They're definitely within 8. So the main robot, he is shoot 2. Supported by his friend for shoot 2. And then he's at close range for another shoot 2. They have to shoot the closest because they're a group and they're not got free will. So he's got no damage, so got nothing to worry there. Let's see how many hits we get. 2 hits. So that is a metal fatigue straight off the bat. They really need to start doing some damage. So I'm going to use that metal fatigue and take it back off to up the power of the weapon to 5. Looking for hits again. Scored 2 hits. Hammerstein has a resist of 4. And he rolls 2 shields. It just pings off. So with the damage reduced to 0, that robot has took a stun. Right, onto the next chip out of the bag. It is Hammerstein. Right, he needs to start getting some objectives. So he's going to do 2 short actions and move 5 and then 5 again. So his first one gets him on the objective. And then I'm only going to move 3 inches for the next bit, just so that he can claim it still. Oh, actually, what we'll do is that, and then we'll shake it off to get rid of his metal fatigue. Now, there is still a chip in the bag, and it's Volkhan's. So he's going to attempt to get his back in the bag as well. So he is a cool of 4, clears some dice off the board, and he gets it. So his chip goes back in the bag. So Hammerstein's chip has gone back in the bag. We're going to see who is out next, and it is going to be... or it's Volkhan. Volkhan's holding 1, so if he can finish the turn on this one, contesting it against these robots, he wins the game. He is injured though. Oh, this is hard. He could also get his dice back in the bag. Have a quick look at what we can do. Hunker down, lets him to remove injury markers. Shake it off, removes pins and metal fatigues. Oof, he is heavily injured. You know what? Let me just check the rule book. You know what? We're going for glory. We're going for glory. He's going to charge. So Volkhan has a move of 5, but he is injured 3, so his move is 2. He's probably going to need a 2 or a 3. He's going to need at least a 2 on this dice. Here we go. Got the 3. He is running in. Let's position myself a bit better here. So smashes into that first robot. Also put him at 3 inches from that objective marker. He is now technically contesting it with these robots. We are going to now do a close combat attack. So Volkhan has a fight of 6. Don't get a modifier for charging. He's attacking in the front arc. The model is not pinned. The stunned one is over here. So there's nothing really going on that much. So let's see what we get. Looking for hit. We got 4 hits. Oh, now he's metal fatigued him. Boom. Now we're looking at damage. We're using the sickle. So that is, he's got a fight of 6. The sickle gives him +1. So he's rolling 7. The guy has, he's 4. You know what? I'll take the metal fatigue off. We're going to roll 8 dice as his power for this close combat hit. And that is a lot of hits. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ABC has a defense of 4. So at best, this guy's definitely taking a single leak this turn. Let's see. He rolls 3 though. The Volkhan swings in. Does 2 damage in total, causing the robot to suffer 2 leaks. It has left little Hammerstein in the battle though. Now, Volkhan, he is cool of 5. He's only got the 1 metal fatigue. He's going to try and get his token back in the bag. Really coming down to the leaders, I think. In theory, this is going to win it, though. I think Hammerstein's has got problems here because he's not yet claimed this one. And by the end of the turn, he'll have claimed it, but he'll be contesting and he'll have claimed and contested. So this is actually game winning here. Pool of 5. Let's see if this token goes back in the bag. There's 2000 AD, so Volkhan's token is back in the bag. Volkhan needs to stay in the game now. I don't know what to do. If this is a Hammerstein token, he could run over and charge. That is a massive charge distance. I don't know. I think ABC Warriors may have just lost. It is Hammerstein. ABC Warriors may have lost this game. Let's see. Charge would be move 5 plus D6. He is like 15 inches away, so that's not happening. This is looking a little rough for the ABC Warriors right now. Hammerstein's guns are in range. Uses wrist guns. He could use everything. I could just plow everything in. Gotta stay within. Gotta stay within that objective to grab it. I also want to do some damage here. So we are going to use his auxiliary cannon attachment, which has a long range of 16. We are good. Let me just check that you can shoot into close combat. Nothing's stopping me shooting into close combat apart from he is going to get some cover from this. Ooh, I would probably say it's heavy cover as well because we got this big piece of terrain that's blocking sight plus a trooper. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So he is rolling 4 dice for his shoot, and then he has a -1 modifier for being at long range. So he's only rolling 3 dice. He is not going to hurt Volkhan with any metal fatigue, but let's see what happens. Scores 3 hits. That's rather impressive rolling. Volkhan has no evade. The power of the attack is going to be power 4. I'm going to take that metal fatigue off Volkhan, make it power 5. And we are going to blast. Let's see if we can take out Volkhan. Need lots of hits here. We have scored 3 hits. That's pretty solid, pretty solid. Volkhan has a resist of 7, but he has leaks. So a leak is -1 move, -1 resist per leak marker. So normally it resists 7, but he's going to lose 3 because of his leaks, making him only resist 4. Ooh, this could be good. This could be good. Does roll 2. So he only takes 1 extra leak. So now Volkhan is down. Sorry, Volkhan had heavy cover, so he has an additional 2 resist. So he just needs a shield on these 2 dice. He got the shield, so he did not take an injury from that. Okay, glad I caught that. I didn't want to have to re-record all this. But back to Hammerstein. He is snap shooting again. All right, Hammerstein's looking to hit, rolling 3 dice. He scores 1 hit dice. Boom! There's no evade. He is power 4. He's got no metal fatigue that he can call upon this time. Only 2. Only 2. This is not looking good for Hammerstein. Now, Volkhan, defense 7, +2 for heavy, gives him 9. He then loses 3 because of all his leaks, so we're rolling 6. He only saves 1. Oh, that was a terrible roll, by the way. So he takes another leak. Hammerstein now needs to get his token back in the bag if he is to do anything in this game. He has a cool of 4, looking for a 2000 AD. He didn't get it. It's metal fatigue on Hammerstein. Volkhan, he pulls out the token. No, I don't know. I could punch the robot. I might as well punch the robot. Let's have a look. Close combat, 6 of dice. Having leaks does not affect his fighting in any way whatsoever. Going to use the sickle again. So 6 attacks. Plenty of hits there. 4, big 4 hits. Hammerstein robot has no evade. So he is rolling 6 + 1 for his sickle. 7 dice. Looking at hits. Only 2 hits. Now, Hammerstein has 4 in defense, but he's got 2 leaks, so it's only 2 now. He only rolls 1 shield, so he's took another leak, but he is still standing. Volkhan is going to swing again. So 6 dice going in. He's hit. It is going to be a power 7. Or maybe not. 4. Oh, look at that. 4. Hammerstein's only got 1 defense, so he's going to take 3 leaks. Poor Hammerstein. He's now at 6. He can no longer move. The little robot's out of play. Volkhan's done his 2 single actions. He's not going to attempt to do anything. He's controlling the objective at the back, and he is contesting the one at the front. Which means game over. Game over. That's the mission parameters. Volkhan done it. He won the game for the Volgans. Who'd have thought it? ABC Warriors failed miserably. So let's have a quick look at the objectives. So each end in the game when one or both sides secure or contest both of its public objectives. It's the end of the turn, end of the game even. Each secured objective is worth 20,000. 20,000 likes. Doesn't have the one over there. Volkhan has one over here, 20,000 likes, and he's contesting his for an additional 5, and the ABCs don't get anything. Final scores, 25,000 likes to Volkhan's, 20,000 likes to the Hammersteins. That was a close game. Close game, close game. Let's try and make this into a video, and I'll give some feedback at the end. So that's mission 1 completed. We've got 2 more to work through, and I think the rules will start getting more complicated now. One thing I did notice was that I didn't bother with the special rules on the characters. That really wouldn't have affected the game in any way, shape or form. But I just want to put out that I did not even turn the card over and read the back. Luckily, Volkhan's special rules I wouldn't have used anyway. Hammerstein's was more close combat stuff, so he didn't even get into close combat. Things I would change about the way I played. There's definitely things I did wrong. Hammerstein should have been a lot more aggressive, should have been pumping forward. The Mark 1 Hammersteins, I should have brought them up a lot further than I did. Maybe that first turn I should have just weathered the fire from the AK-47s and got beyond that second Volkhan objective and been a proper speed bump. The big thing that I forgot was, and I didn't really forget it, but I didn't play up to it, was that Volkhan was near his objective, claimed it, and only had to deal with that second one. And to deal with it, he only had to be near it. He didn't actually have to claim it in any way, shape or form. And the fact that to claim it, you just had to be within 3 inches at the end of the turn or contest it if enemies were nearby. Didn't seem fair looking back at this game as I'm watching the replay and editing it. It seems like maybe that should be a single action to like claim it with a flag. That's maybe how I would play it in the future if I was to do it again. But yeah, ultimately I played too defensively with the ABC Warriors and paid the price. First turn, Hammerstein should have come running out, claimed his objective like Volkhan did on his side, because then you've each got one. Then it becomes a bit more cat and mouse, because Volkhan could come rushing down and try and contest his, where I had the Hammerstein Mark 1s, and Hammerstein Mark 3 would have been running up trying to actually claim his other one, which could have easily happened, which would have given the win to the ABC Warriors. There's some rules that do confuse me though, looking back. So AK-47, they're meant to be a group. They're meant to stay within a certain distance of each other. If a robot is down and no longer moving, it's technically still in play. So does it force the group to stay put and make sure they stay in coherency with it? Or does it become a casualty and it's just ignored and it becomes a unit of 2? If they get stuck and they have to stay with a downed robot, that seems unfair. So I was in my head going to play it that they could walk away and just leave that robot behind. The other question is, a downed but not completely destroyed robot, could it contest the objective? Like that Hammerstein that was at the front getting wailed on by Volkhan at the end there. If he'd have been downed, would he count as still contesting? Because he was the one within 3 inches. But the fact that he was then down, do you ignore him when it comes to objective grabbing? There's some very vague rules. Personal thoughts, he wouldn't count because he can't move. So what's the use of, you're not really holding an objective if you're not shooting and not moving. There's some little grey areas here that maybe they're in the advanced rules. If I keep reading through the book, maybe I'll know. But I did really enjoy it. I started to get the flow. It only lasted 2 turns, which is quite comical. Turn 1, as a quick recap, Volkhan ran on, claimed his objective. The AKs blasted at the Hammerstein Marks 1. Hammerstein himself marched up, blasted the AK-47s, and the Mark 1s came up and blasted the AK-47s. Turn 2, Volkhan booked it down, got his chip back in the bag. Hammerstein moved up, started to secure his objective, thinking, oh, we got another turn. And then token came out, Volkhan. Charged into combat. Now he's contestant. He's won the game. That was very quick. A 3x3 game board is very small, I think, for the amount of move these guys can do. When you think about it, run is you move twice plus d6. It's 10, 11, I'm trying to think. It's 11 to 16 inch move. That's a third of the board. He can book it across quite easily. And he did. He was moving quite fast. You got to think turn 1, he went 10 inches, roughly 8 because of terrain. Then second turn, he got the run off and did 14. So he's now traveled 24 inches. That's 2/3 of the board he's got through in 2 turns. And then he managed to get his chip back in the bag and pull off a charge, which even at his short little 5-inch, that got him 29-inch move throughout that game. So he was able to really move it, which is crazy. So I'm excited to see what the next game's going to be. I am going to do it. I know I've said that in the past with Judge Dredd. We are going to go back and do Judge Dredd as well. I got the game board set up. I think I've got a system now of how I want to do my battle reports. I hope you enjoyed. I hope if you want to see more, you'll drop me a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And coming up next is the Coffee Club members, who I hugely appreciate. It's lovely that you guys treat me to a cup of coffee, which I am currently enjoying. It's a nice little Mexican roast. But until the next video, as always, cheers for watching.